This is a bigger picture that's happening, okay, that we're not talking about. They cut funding for education, but they're building jails. They ain't building these jails for nothing. We have to get to a point where we're not populating that prison pipeline. I just think 25 years to life for robbery when people are committing murders all day and every day and assaulting and raping people and getting far less time. And I also try to put myself in the situation of the victim. Would I think if I was attacked, do I think 25 years would be excessive? Would I change my tune? The decisions that you make, even as a teenager, can haunt you for the rest of your life.
Welcome to Aunties Court. Court is now in session.
We have another court case that we're going to weigh in against. The aunties are presiding, and this is going to be very interesting because it's unfortunately something that we will see time and time again.
Some years ago that there really wasn't even a question. Everyone, state's attorneys were recommending youthful offenders, probation, let's give everybody an opportunity. And things have just changed in such an incredibly dangerous way with young people doing what I just saw you do on that screen. I cannot imagine the fear that that person had that was working in that store, that he now has just trying to go to work, make a living, and go home. And he has 3 people come in and not just grab a little quick something and run out, but terrorize him for quite some time, pulling him around, yanking him around, putting guns in his face, all 3 of you. I also, in addition to the PSI, get jail incident reports. And you apparently like to fight and jump people, which is what's been happening in the jail. So it makes it very difficult for me to go, oh, this is somebody that's going to get out and behave, who can follow the rules, because you can't even follow the rules in jail. The pre-sentence report shows that you're a high risk level, which tells me that after they've looked at everything, that you don't have, unfortunately, a good likelihood of being successful if I were to put you on probation. And Mr. Coleman's right. We're tired of it. And there's got to be something done. So in cause number 25, DCCR 1759, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And at this time, I'm going to find you guilty of aggravated robbery. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division.
I first looked at trying to find more detail, whether there was any news outlets, any articles on the case. Then I wanted to look at whether or not this judge had a reputation of presiding over similar cases with similar crimes like this, given the same sentence. The only thing that I wasn't able to pull was whether or not he had a criminal record prior to this, because he was just 18. So if he did have a juvenile record, it would be sealed. It wouldn't be open to the public. Also, with the judge, there was no other cases online and on the news or anything about her and about how she presides over any case in her courtroom. So based on data, because he was 18 and he had 2 co-defendants, and they went in with the intention of robbing somebody with a weapon, he was guilty and he did deserve some type of jail time. Even though he's only 18, to me, there's rehabilitation in him. That's how I looked at it. The fact that she gave him 25 years with no possibility of parole, that was a bit harsh. But we also see that in any case where it involves a Black male, they get the severity and sentencing over other counterparts. I just felt bad for him because you could see he wasn't really all there or thinking about what he's done until they read off the sentence and the reaction that took place. And
I watched another interview about this case where he do have an opportunity for parole, but he'll be 30 by the time he even gets parole, because I think he can get parole within 12 or 15 years of serving his sentence.
15 years, yes.
So he can get parole, but he will be 30 years old at that time. He's already 18. I agree with you. There is opportunity for rehabilitation. No one was injured. No one was killed.
But the clerk got hurt.
Oh, okay. But no one was murdered. And
nobody was murdered, no.
He didn't have any previous criminal records. either.
We don't know that because he was just 18.
The interview that I watched, he had no prior criminal records. I watched a news interview with a prosecutor from that state
Mm-hmm.
on the case, and he had no prior criminal records based off of what this prosecutor said in that interview. The fact that he pled guilty opened him up to that PSI, which is called Prison Sentence Investigation. So that's why she had the information about him having fights in jail. Had he not pled guilty before he got charged, they would not have those records. What I learned is that this is the state of Texas. Judges are voted in, so this could be election season for them, for her. I just think 25 years without the opportunity to help this person, this individual, this young man, to possibly be a better person. She's given him no opportunity to have a better life. He's 18 years old. He could have been put on probation because there's an opportunity. If you go on probation, you mess up, you go to jail. He didn't even get the opportunity to mess up again. Not to say that he would. He probably would not have. This probably would have been his lesson learned. I'm not going down this path again. Him fighting in jail, she says it was him jumping and whatever. Who knows? It could be defense as well. I don't know that piece of it, but we know what goes down in jail. I think a 25-year sentence is a very harsh sentence for an 18-year-old who possibly could have had an opportunity to be course corrected, change his life, put him in a program. On probation, you are obligated to meet certain things. Otherwise, you risk the chance of going back to jail. And those opportunities were not given to him. I just think 25 years to life for robbery when people are committing murders all day and every day and assaulting and raping people and getting far less time, I don't agree with the sentence.
The only thing I would question is you said that he didn't have a record. He probably didn't have any priors as an 18-year-old. Juvenile records are not supposed to be exposed to if it's sealed.
I get it.
And even in this case, they wouldn't have been allowed to talk about that in the public eye because it's a juvenile record. That was the only thing that I questioned, because if he did have a juvenile record where he was robbing people or robbing, period, without a weapon, just, knocking people over and taking their thing and running, that still showed that this wasn't his first time doing it. So I couldn't confirm that part.
I don't think she covered that. And again, in the interview I saw, he didn't. She's basing his activity of his fights in jail on how he would be if he was put on probation. I think she's coupling the crime and what happened in jail for his sentence.
So I think this situation is unfortunate for all the parties involved. And what I mean by the parties, I'm talking about him, his two cohorts, the victim, they terrorized, because who knows how long it's going to take that victim to get over this. Ever get over it. The lady, his mom or whoever was screaming in the background that had to be removed because of the 25 years. Feel for her. Could be some element of guilt on her end too as a result of actions. We know that there's a pipeline to prison. Don't pretend that don't exist for our boy, even though he committed the crime. Once you go to prison, who's to say what goes down that it could have been defense, and they can write it up any way they want
to.
So you're already at a deficit. You're already under, now he could have been somebody that's, damn, I got myself in some situation. I'm running with the wrong people. This is an example of the 5 people that you're around will show me exactly how far you go in life. Clearly with the wrong people. And he got in this situation. And
he could be the wrong person too now. We don't know.
And he could be the leader. We don't know. Either way, he's not around the people that he's frequenting most often are clearly not on the up and up. Now you're in a situation, you get to jail, shit happens. It's a lot of bravado. It's a lot of all of this and that. And you have to defend yourself. So that could have been happening, or he could have been aggressive. We don't know. We weren't there. But either way, however it's done, they can write it up however they want to write it up. I agree with both of you. 25 years is excessive. And I also try to put myself in the situation of the victim. Would I think if I was attacked, do I think 25 years would be excessive? Would I change my tune? I don't know. But the reason why I'm saying that 25 years is excessive simply because of all the reasons that you mentioned. We have the lady that broke the little baby's bones and she got 3 years, and she was breaking infants' bones, the nurse, she happened to be white. We know that sentencing tends to be harder for us than any other ethnicity. We have to get to a point where we're not populating that prison pipeline. And we need our boys and our girls, because our girls be going to jail too. We need to be on the up and up, because the decisions that you make, even as a teenager, can haunt you for the rest of your life. Making stupid decisions, and now you got to deal with it for the rest of your life. And we've seen this. We know what happens. And now because of everything that's going on with this administration. We look around just the United States and we see the different laws and the practices that are coming into play. They are building jails. So, for example, in the state of New York, they closed down Rikers Island, but they are now, don't quote me on the amount of money, but I want to say it's $16 billion. They're going to build a $16 billion jail that's going to be 4 locations in 4 different boroughs. $16 billion there. In the state of Alabama, they have already started building bigger jails. Now, they're doing it under the disguise of, oh, we're renovating our jails. Some of them are under renovations, but I'm sharing all this to say, across America, they are increasing the amount of jails that are being built. So what does that tell you? They anticipate more people being in those jails, which means they will it'll be some elements of them creating a circumstance, but they also know that people do stupid shit. What he did was stupid. I wanted to share this because maybe people don't know that they're doing a whole bunch of building in jails.
They probably don't know.
Okay? But it is. You can Google it yourself. I don't care, guys. Take it to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. Ask how many jails are being built right now across the 50 states. Ask them when they're being built over the last 5 years. Ask them how much money is being spent. They're increasing the amount of jails across the country. These guys that are in jail, they're cheap labor. Listen, they're cleaning our chicken from Purdue and Tyson and all these things. Yeah, facts. Okay? So they run them through. They're stripping all the fats and stuff before it gets packaged up. Okay? People from jail are doing that. All right? They're doing a lot of different things. They ain't just cleaning the highways. They ain't just making license plates. They're doing a lot of different things because it's cheap labor. It's a business. There are certain stocks right now, GEO. There's more that people are trading based on how much money can be made. Some of these jails, for example, Alabama, one of them probably I think will be finished this year, the end of this year, and then the other one's going to be finished in 2026. For New York, I think it's slated for 2031 and maybe 2035, something like that. Don't matter. It's coming.
Right.
They don't want somebody to fill up them damn jails.
Yep.
We need to be very vigilant in how we're raising our kids, getting more active in who they're around, having real home conversations so that they understand the conditions of what's going on. We absolutely need to do that because it'll be our kids in those jails. And it's going to be more Black and brown people.
There's a consequence for every action that you take in life,
Absolutely.
good or bad.
Absolutely.
And you want to be on the side of good versus bad. Jails doesn't discriminate against age, right? So everyone should know that this is happening and it's going to be us that they're targeting to put in those places.
And unfortunately, we do things that make it very easy for it to happen.
That's the sad part.
We're already the target, so we don't need to put the bullseye on us.
We don't need to fan the flames. We don't need to be in the fire. All those things. So, I applaud the brothers and sisters out there that are part of the community centers to try to educate and put these kids and give them something to do after school, whether it's talking about jobs or talking about careers or whatever, giving them hobbies that they can tap into, whether it's music, whether it's whatever, dance, instruments, it doesn't matter. There are people within every city that actually do that go unnamed. So kudos to them for helping the youth. We can have more of that because within the next 5 years, I think it's going to get, now I ain't trying to fearmonger because I don't believe in that. I'm just telling y'all what I'm seeing. They ain't building these jails for nothing.
You make a point. So they're building these jails, but there was a time where they had a lot of community centers and services after schools and stuff like that have been taken away.
Yo, so you just sparked something else that I forgot to say. $16 billion for a jail.
That's what I'm getting at.
But they have money.
You sparked it. But meanwhile, they deducted the amount of education funding per student.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we're painting this picture, guys, so you can see what is happening. A lot of times on social media, we just see the clip and we just, argue in the comments or, I've seen, if y'all look in the comments, that was his mother probably saying, he's my baby and all this stuff. We all, she may have said that or whatever, but this is a bigger picture that's happened, okay, that we're not talking about. They cut funding for education, but they're building jails.
There you go. That's all you need to know.
That's all it is. What are we doing? One love. Let's try to just educate ourselves and look after each other. That's all I got.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's it.
Prayers for the young man and his family and the victims.
And the victims. For sure.
Absolutely.
That's traumatizing. It's traumatizing. So let us know what you think. Weigh in the comments. This is your journey's yours. Make it yours. Live your life the way you like. Hope you living it on the right side instead of the wrong side. But who's to judge? I won't judge it. You judge it. You'll know and be judged by your actions or whatever your outcomes will be. But if anything in this case resonated well with you, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this case. Weigh in, like, share, subscribe. And if there are other cases that we have not weighed in on, feel free to send it to us. Send it to us at NYAAPOD1, the number 1, at gmail.com. We appreciate you so much for tuning in and listening. Till next time.